love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They will also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. Of course, I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
What's up, killer?
How you doing, man? You all right?
Doing
you good?
Great.
Good. What you got that face on for?
Ohio State, you know?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Ohio let me down all fucking weekend, man. You know, I'm gonna stop being a homer and say what's right. You know, they let me down, man. But well, I guess when Maurice come, he have a better explanation.
I'm gonna save my conversation for Maurice.
All right. Plus, they've been snitching on me and all, to calling you with information with lyrics and everything. It's crazy. You got more lyrics? Because I got something.
I got a couple.
I got something that's going to beat all that. They sent me in. They said they need answers. Want me to go first?
Good.
The people want to know. The people want to know, in 50 Cent's video, window shopping, what was your role exactly in that?
What was my role?
He took you shopping. They said he scooped you and took you shopping in the video. That's what they told me. I didn't see the video in a while. He said, I don't know. I just was asking.
I'm gonna let you win today.
I'll show you the DM that said you got an axe murder. Did he? I know he wasn't.
I know that nigga Don Q ain't seen that.
Nah, this wasn't Don Q. This was my man Pop Vasquez from the Bronx. Pop, shout out to Pop. But
them Bronx.
Yeah. Oh, he from the Bronx. Yeah, he definitely from the Bronx. Pop said. He said, "Well, ask him what's going on in this video." Because he looked like he got. I actually haven't seen the video in years. So what you trying to say? It looked like he tried to take a shopping.
Maybe.
Oh, nigga, scoop murder. That's crazy, man. Pause, man. All right.
Man.
Pop Vasquez, his name, he changed, they blocked his page. You can see for obvious reasons. Dope seller self-clothing. I asked the question. I don't know what response we got from it. But I asked the guy, I know you're going to come back tomorrow vicious, and I know y'all suck ass niggas is going to call him way more shit. I already know. But I asked him, Stat must have seen it recently because Stat doesn't watch a lot of old shit. You know, she has
I got tagged in it too.
So niggas is tagging? Oh, yeah. That's what happened, nigga.
Yeah.
Y'all some vicious world out there. Y'all know whose side y'all on, man. But I asked the question. I don't know if you guys went shopping or not. This is all pure hate because all my teams lost over the weekend, so I'm mad. I am not going to lie. I'm mad about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And today we are joined with our football analyst, OJ.
Juice. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. You look like you were having a lot of fun. I couldn't hear any of it.
Okay. What's up? How you doing, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, buddy. I am hanging in there. It was a tough weekend, watching my Bills, but my Niners were good. But it was a good weekend of football. Some great college football.
How was your Thanksgiving and your holidays?
It was great. I had a lot of relatives in town. I made food here. Well, I didn't make it. My niece made it. But we actually went to two friends' house to two different dinners. But I figured I need to have leftovers at my house. So we cooked some at my house, because we had a honey baked ham. I always like to promote it because I used to own all the honey baked hams in LA County back in the day.
What do you mean you own all the honey baked hams in LA County? Could you be more specific on that? What do you mean?
Well, Honey Baked didn't really give franchises out. It was a Seller family, but there was a guy that worked for them in promotion, and they brought one of their, I don't know, nephews or someone in the business, and the two of them couldn't get along. So they told him he could get a franchise, but he had to open up at least 3 of them in LA County. Well, we ended up opening 9. He needed somebody with money to back him, and he had heard once that I was trying to get a franchise. So we went into partnership. I put up the money. Interesting thing, though, I put up the money for the first one, never had to put up another dime. It made enough that each one we opened, we made enough to open another one and another one and another one. And at one point, we had 9 of them.
Niggas talk about which OJ, you was doing that Shaq shit before Shaq. You've been getting this money a long motherfucking time. And you always try to be very smooth the way you slide it. Well, you know, how's your Thanksgiving? Well, it was cool. We had honey baked ham. You know, I always promote that. Why you promote it? Because I owned all of them in Southern LA. Because
LA County.
LA County. Because you know we franchised and flipped the franchises, and that's how we did it. Now let me ask you this real quick. And not taking away from your stats, because each week we learn something new about you. Are you a gold medalist, bronze, silver medalist? What exactly in the Olympics did you do?
I didn't run. The problem was the Olympics was in September in Mexico City. I had come to SC on a football scholarship. We had won the national championship the year before, and obviously we were in the running this year, and I was a leading candidate for the Heisman. So it was a case of I had to play football. So while some guys who I had actually beaten in the 100-meter and stuff were all at the Olympics, I was playing football at UFC.
Reason I'm asking this question, what's the subliminal with the shirt? Why are you wearing the shirt today? What is this USA about? What are you trying to prove?
No, I'm not trying to prove anything.
Okay,
but we got
just
American
making sure.
soldiers getting shot in northern, Israel. Right. We got, soldiers still getting, some of them getting shot at in Eastern Europe. So it's just a USA thing.
I respect that, and and support to all our soldiers fighting the fight. We're definitely with you over there. Last question before we get into some sports, or unless Mase has some questions.
No problem.
What size wine glass is that? Like,
No, it's actually, to be honest, it's not a wine glass, to be honest. Yeah. And it's not wine.
What is it?
It's blueberry juice.
Yeah,
blueberry juice is very healthy for you.
If you think that's blueberry, blueberry wine.
Blueberry juice. Yeah. We got to be on semi-health kick here.
Okay, cool.
Blueberry is really good for you.
What does it do,
It helps your blood, it helps, I've been dealing with some health issues lately. And so I'm trying to be on a completely health kick. So I take my vitamins, I drink my blueberry juice, and, try to keep it going.
Good.
Drinking your blueberry juice in style.
Stay healthy. We need you here, baby.
Okay. Yeah. So, we got to start with the Bills. The Eagles beat the Bills 37-34 in overtime. Do you think the Eagles are the luckiest team in the league, or do you think they're really that good? OJ, your thoughts?
Well, I believe that great teams, and I mean teams that are great, find a way to win. Even when they get outplayed, they find a way to win. That's what the Eagles have been doing all year this year. They found a way to win. I saw Josh play a great game. I mean, an incredible game. And what's interesting, if you look at Josh's record going back to that Super Bowl, the last time he has the ball, he always put the Bills in the lead. Problem is, there's time left for the other team when they get the ball. Of course, it was Patrick Mahomes, and this time it's Hurts. And, I wasn't happy with, I thought the Bills was playing a version of like, you remember in the old days when we used to say they play prevent defense, and all it does is prevent you from winning. Well, it seems like, when they had like 3rd and 4, the Bills' defensive backs were playing 12 yards off the ball, So, I mean, if I had to be a little critical, I would be a little critical of that. But Hurts, man, I'm telling you, Jalen, he's a winner, and he marched them right down the field, much like Patrick did in that Super Bowl. And now you do know, and I've said this, that the Bills have lost their two best defensive players, All-Pro Milano, middle backer, All-Pro Ladarius White, cornerback. Those are two of the most important positions on the defense. And when you lose two Pro Bowlers, your best two defensive players, it's going to hurt you down the line, especially when you're playing against a team like, I guess they got to play the 49ers coming up, Dallas coming up. And of course, we saw what happened this week against Philly. That's what I felt was going to hurt the Bills the rest of the way. Getting rid of that Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator, was the best thing they did. Since he's been gone, at least they're scoring 30 points a game, and the offense looked a lot different. But the defense, unfortunately, it was less than 2 minutes in the game, and they couldn't hold them. I thought they'd at least hold them to a field goal, and we'd stay in overtime. But the boy took off. He's a winner. Hurts is a winner, and because of how they win, no matter what's going on with them, I think this week they're the best team in football.
Oh my God. I knew it.
He was laughing before he even said it.
I knew it. I already knew it was coming, man.
Oh, did you think that the Bills would be right here at this point in the season? When the season first started, did you think they would ever be 6-6?
Never. Mase, I looked at that team. I saw them run through Miami in the beginning. I was at the game in the beginning of the season. Their defense just dominated Miami. And as I told you, you win championships with defense. You sell tickets with offense, and you win championships with defense. And when they lost those two key players, then I would have said I wouldn't have expected them to lose to Denver. I don't know if I expected them to win this game. I probably didn't expect them to win this game. I was surprised they played so well on offense. But as I said, since they got rid of that Dorsey guy as offensive coordinator, their offense looks great. But, he got them a lead the last 2 or 3 times he had the ball. When he walked off the field, the Bills were leading. The defense just could not, hold Hurts and that crew. And that's an incredible crew, with Brown and with Smith, receivers, Swift running the ball. They're tough.
Yeah, I actually was watching the game. I actually thought they were going to win that game. Yeah. But as I saw them running towards the end zone, I was really like, this is heartbreaking for the Bills, especially as well as they played, especially when the quarterback think he outplayed Hurts so well. Then to lose this way is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I got to admit, I was hurt.
Because this was a game they were supposed to win. I mean, if you're looking at the game.
I'm trying to figure. I think they were 3-point dogs. I'm not sure, but I thought they were 3-point dogs going into the game. Underdogs, but I could be wrong about that.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the spread, pause. I'm talking about when you're looking at that game in overtime, you're actually probably thinking that Bills is about to pull this upset.
Well, the worst part was the last play the Bills ran. And Davis turned outside instead of inside. Now, I thought, well, that was just, both of them seeing it differently. But when I heard Davis and Orlovsky, them on TV today, they spoke about it from a defensive point of view and a quarterback's point of view. And they said if they're in a zero coverage like that, he should have went inside. So two guys who are basically, as knowledgeable as anybody. One, probably a defensive Hall of Fame, and Orlovsky, who I listen to because I think he really understands the game of football and communicates it well. They both agreed that with the zero coverage, there's no safety in the middle. He should have gone to the middle. But, I ain't
Well,
gonna
you
blame
watch
him.
them niggas all you want to know. I don't watch them niggas. I watch the game. I don't need their opinion.
Yeah.
What happened is this. With that last play that you guys are for Buffalo, is look, he got to know the smoke is coming. Like the blitz was coming. As a receiver, you got to look back. If your quarterback's going to be under pressure, it's up to you. Sometimes it may not be the exact route that you're going to run, but you got man-to-man coverage and niggas is coming in the blitz. Your quarterback going to let it go. You gotta look at the ball. You got to pay attention. That nigga was running a route and not paying attention to the smoke coming towards his quarterback. So listen, as far as Buffalo is concerned, look, this has been going on since the 90s. Y'all one big disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Y'all, we think you're going to go do good. Patrick Mahomes fucked you up. Jim Kelly and y'all boys back-to-back Super Bowls. Not saying it's easy to get to the Super Bowl. We know that from OJ because he's never been to a Super Bowl. So we know at the end of the day how good OJ is. And he's not no shade or nothing. I'm just saying you was probably the best. From the knowledge and due diligence I've done, you was the best player for a decade. I'm talking about in the NFL. I'm like, not even a question. They say I did the homework on you and they said that you were the best player in the 70s. Like, I don't even know how that worked. Like, how a nigga be like, oh no, from 2003 to 2006, it was COVID. Like, niggas say you were the best player in the 70s, period. So I'm just saying, as far as the disappointment with having the best football player in the 70s. And then I can't really count on what happened in the 80s. Then in the 90s, you go to 4 straight Super Bowls, don't win anything. Josh Allen comes along and looks like hope. Then you got somebody who just is better than him in Patrick Mahomes. And then games like last night show me exactly the disappointment or how close Buffalo is always there or have some promise, and it's always ending in bad luck for Buffalo fans. On the other side of the coin, we got to start putting some respect on Jalen Hurts' name, bro. Like we gotta stop naming all these quarterbacks and not putting his name in the list of these quarterbacks. His last 17 games, he's 16-1. His last 29 games, he's 27-2. This season he has 4 game-winning drives. You know what I'm saying? He has the second best percentage in comebacks when trailing by 10 points, only trailing Patrick Mahomes. We have to start mentioning his name when we naming these quarterbacks, when we name the Tuas and the Mahomeses and the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows. We have to start putting some respect on his name. As good as Philly is as a team, you have to put some respect on Jalen Hurts' name. So at the end of the day, as much as we want to blame Buffalo and say, oh, Buffalo didn't do this or Buffalo didn't do that, we have to look at what Philly and Jalen Hurts did. So I just want to say salute to Philly. Jalen Hurts is always good to laugh at Buffalo or OJ when he comes up here because OJ's really so very much disappointed. But we have to stop ignoring what Jalen Hurts is doing right now.
Well, I thought I made it clear that I thought they're the best team.
Yeah, today.
I thought I made that
clear. Today. Listen, man. No, what I'm saying is this: it's obvious that, and not just standings wise that Philly is the best team, but we always said Philly's good. Philly's 9-0. Philly's 8-0. Philly's 10-1. Philly's, even last year, I think they won 12 games and they didn't lose their first game until Jalen Hurts got hurt. We constantly saying Philly's really good, and then we don't mention how good Jalen Hurts is leading the way. We take it as Philly as a whole, and we don't give him the flowers he's figuratively speaking that he deserves for leading in this team to where they're at. It was a play last Sunday night, pardon me, and he threw it in double coverage, put it right in the guy's hands, man. Right in the end zone, right before the half, I believe.
Like that Alabama throw.
Right, but it went right in his guy. He didn't have to jump high for it, right through it. Look, that was a great pass. So I really want to don't put the focus on the Bills losing and more on Philadelphia winning. But we had this conversation over the weekend, and I'll ask you as well. Because Mase asked me and Stat really asked a question and it got kind of Mase answered it from a franchise, not a franchise point of view, from the team moving forward point of view. But I had kind of narrowed it down, and I asked you this question. And my answer, I'll give you my answer before I asked you. If Buffalo lost this game this weekend, would they be out of it for the rest of the year? What I said was no, I don't think they're going to be out of it the rest of the year, even if they lose this game, because all they need to do is sneak into a wild card spot, and we still have plenty of football left, and they have playoff experience. So I'm not going to say that their season is over, but a couple more of these, and look, we running out of weeks, man, and I really would like to see Buffalo, as much as I talk shit about them and all that, I like their team. I like Josh Allen. I like Diggs. I like what they got going on. You know, Von Miller's the homie. Listen, I would really love to see Buffalo in the playoffs. So I'm not going to wipe them out because I think they have playoff experience that other teams that get to the playoffs may not. But we got to fix this. We got about 5-6 weeks to clean this thing up, man.
Well,
So-
it's uphill. They got the 49ers and they got the Cowboys to go through. So it's going to be an uphill battle.
I'm not
And
really
speaking
worried
of
about the Cowboys,
Jalen,
but go ahead.
I
49
think
stuff.
everybody said that Jalen outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl last year. And in my opinion, Jalen's the MVP this year. But as long as you get games like their Kansas City game, when the boy dropped the sure touchdown at the end of the game, then after that, even the tight end dropped a couple of passes that were key first downs. See, that kind of stuff happens and people think they're lucky, but they're not lucky. They make their own luck. You know, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I don't think anybody works harder than Jalen Hurts.
So to answer the question, though, do you think that they're going to make the playoffs, or is it over for them this season, the Buffalo Bills?
I wouldn't say it's over because I like the way their offensive team played the last two games, but I think it's decidedly uphill. The 49ers will probably be favorite in that game, and I don't think Dallas will be favorite, but hey, Dallas is playing some good football right now. But they're going to have to win. I don't know if they got 5 games left or something, but they're going to have to win like 4 of them games.
What do you think? Let me ask you, Mase, what do you think after seeing the game this weekend as far as Buffalo's season?
I don't think this season is over for them because they play so well. But then again, it can be kind of catastrophic when you play your absolute best and lose. I think that's a mental thing. So, but I will stand on what I said. If they do not win this year, it's gonna be over for that. I don't see them getting better than what they are right now. There's nobody else you should have to add to that team looking at their roster to win games. When you think of Von Miller, you're talking about Josh Allen, you're talking about Diggs. Diggs actually had a good game. So when you got all these people playing well and you're still losing, that's why they fired the other guy.
Yeah, and not only that, they gotta get a little bit more better running game identity as well. Like Josh Allen was the lead in Russia as well. So,
but they're running the ball better. They ran 38 times last week, something that would have never happened with that other offensive coordinator. And they ran in this game, not as much as they did the previous game, but I've been bitching for 2 years. Run the ball. Everyone said they had no running backs. But we see what Singletary is doing at Houston, so they do have running back. They had running backs. I used to say you got running back.
Yeah, yesterday they wasn't existing. At longest on the average was 3.3 yards, and Cook he got 16 carries for only 43 yards. Like I said, Josh Allen, I know one of them runs was about 30, 35, 40 yards. I remember, but it's not going to work. And like I said, they were right there, still could have won, but we can't have Josh Allen leading the team in rushing yards.
I just want to put this on the record real quick, and I wish I could roll the tape because earlier on when we started this and we were talking about top quarterbacks, I did say that Jalen Hurts should be up there, and everybody acted like I was bugging. But
the only reason is stat. I'm not saying you didn't, but stat. You be thinking people cute and all that, so we can't really be taking it into considerations and all that shit.
That's
When you
not even
think
why
like,
I
yo,
chose
when
him.
any girl says they going with Jalen Hurts, they like him.
No.
Girls like him. Gabrielle Union disrespected to me Dwayne Wade and was like, that man is sexy as hell. That was wild disrespectful. So when girls say anything about Jalen Hurts, no disrespect. I know you know your sports. You on top of it. You help us out a lot. But I can't take any girl seriously that's talking about Jalen Hurts is one of them dudes. I just can't. Girls like him too much. And listen, pause. If that's what I don't know. You like him, but I'm just telling you, so you're not cute, pause to you.
Oh, Jalen Hurts is attractive, but that's not the reason why I said that he should be in the top conversation. Like, I think he shows it on the field, and that's why now we're talking about it, but it had to be because I thought he looked good. That's not even what I took into account for anything.
Tell us before the season what you took into account.
The way he's been playing in his season last year. What do you mean?
What was he doing exactly? Give me some numbers or something.
Yeah,
I don't have exact numbers, but his passing has been great. Like, yes, he has a great team, but he's a good leader. Like, that's what you want to see in a quarterback. And I say this every single time. Like, he's taken ownership for a team. Yes, they have a lot of skills that you would expect any other team to have, but he's shown us that he can lead the Eagles to victory.
Ownership?
Like, he makes mistakes. Yes, he's made interceptions a lot throughout this season, but even at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts, like OJ said, is going to win. And that's what he's shown us through and through different games. What you mean by
leadership?
Like, he's been a good leader for his team. According to the scores, according to why the Eagles keep continuously winning.
What makes him a good leader?
No, that makes him a good leader because he's leading his team to victory.
So let me ask you this to chime in, Mase, because I want to ask you this. Steph Curry is dynamic. You think he's the leader of the Golden State Warriors or Draymond Green?
I still think Curry's the leader.
What has he done to show you that he leads them out besides being a great player?
Well, I would also just take into account his composure. Like, even when he's in situations, and that's not a diss at Draymond. Like, I think Draymond's a great player, but I think that shows leadership.
I'm
what's the qualities of a leader?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The qualities of a leader that is, even when you're at your breaking point or you feel like you're going to lose, you keep a good composure and still play well. I think that's a good leader. You can't act on emotions. You cannot act on emotions.
Is that a leadership when he throws his mouthpiece?
That's him riding for his team, but I'm not going to call that leadership. There's different aspects to it. But I've been saying this about Jalen Hurts for a minute now. I just had to put that on the record because, yeah. And as far as the Bills, OJ, I know that's your team. Right. Oh, wait. What'd you say?
You're right. Because he's a leader because all the other guys on that team look to him when things are going bad.
And he gets it done every single time.
Just like Curry, they know he's going to hit that three. They know this guy is going to do something good to help them. Teammates all look at him as their team leader. And
Stat don't got no granddaddy issues, bro. She good. She all right, bro.
She good.
She good,
no,
bro.
Me and OJ, the one time OJ would be like, you're right. That was got to be something else. Thank you, OJ. Thank you.
She all right,
I just had to put that on the record.
She all right,
and I appreciate you supporting me, but to the Bills.
Oh, we don't support you?
Yeah.
We don't support.
That's supporting my take. It's okay if we disagree. We always all disagree on different things.
No, it's a fact. That's why we ask. Niggas don't support us crazy.
That's not what I'm saying. I have the utmost support. I'm just going to say real quick, though, OJ, no offense to your Bills. I've lost hope in them. I just have to put that on the record. But thanks for agreeing with my take. Moving along. The Texans lost to the Jaguars 24-21. OJ, did you see this happening?
Yeah. The Texans beat them the first time they played, and I've said this, I'm sure on this show a few times, that when teams play each other twice and they're in the same division, it's hard to win both games. They normally split. I know when I was in Buffalo, we'd be splitting with Miami and splitting with New England, but we were all bad teams at that time, I must admit. But when teams play twice, especially a team that I thought, and I still think, overall is a better team, Jacksonville, even though I give all the respect to Houston because that C.J. Stroud, I mean, what he's doing for those guys and that other rookie Tank, whatever his name is, the receiver, those guys, they're playing ball. And The coaches got him playing great defense. I think he's coach of the year. Um, um, I do. I think he's good. The brother's doing a job down there. But I wasn't surprised. I ran both Lawrence and Etienne on my fantasy team. I ran both of those guys on my fantasy team because I thought they would do well. Lawrence did really well. He scored me 30-something points. Etienne just so-so. But I ran them because I thought they would have a good game against Houston. So I wasn't surprised that they beat Houston.
Jacksonville. Didn't we?
Oh, I forgot about that. What about that?
No, stat picked Jacksonville on the weekend. So we showing our little love. But I did say I believe they could win. I don't know if she's going to acknowledge that.
I have no comment.
She's feeling it today.
I mean, Jacksonville's still not my team, so like they're not my team, but I was supporting them.
You said we.
Yes, because that's my hometown, but I'm not even gonna get into that because all these people were like, how you don't know the street? How you don't? And you know what? Y'all got it. But
I was gonna say that. I seen people in the comments talking about Jacksonville as wow. I already seen it. They said they didn't want to say cat, but they was like, yo, they used the word wow. Like Stat trying to talk about Jacksonville is crazy. I just say, yeah, I'm on my business. I seen that one. Actually, you reposted one of them.
They're so funny.
Yeah, they like word Stat Jacksonville now. Okay, cool. Look, as far as the game's concerned, as far as this whole weekend concerned, I'll say this, man. Ohio, y'all let me down every fucking way. Ohio State, you let me down. Fucking Cincinnati let me down. I even tried to go to Texas, CJ Stroud, and go with him because he went to Ohio State. Y'all let me down this whole weekend. Y'all already calling Mase, telling on me and shit. I'm gonna stop being a homer. I'm going to stop being a homer. I'm going to stop. Because I picked the Texans to win this game because how good Stroud was playing with Ohio State. I'm trying to keep it Midwest. But I'm going to stop being a homer and call it like it is. Now, don't say all season I ain't been bigging y'all up. The whole fucking state, whether it's Cincinnati, whether it's fucking Cleveland, whether it's Columbus, whether it's Dayton, whether it's Springfield, whether it's the town May say I never mentioned none of the time. Listen, Toledo, Ohio, right next to Detroit. Listen, the gig's up. If y'all don't got my back, I'm not going to have y'all back. Y'all not going to have Mase came up here today and said, I win Mr. Day for the world. No, and I picked every wrong team because I tried to be with Ohio. I picked everything wrong this weekend. Everything. Just trying to stick with the home team. The gig's up. The gig is up. I love y'all. I'm always going to represent y'all, but I'm not going to pick y'all just to be a homer. Period. That's that. I'm not going to do it. Listen, but back to the game real quick. They had a chance to win that game. Still, at the end of the game, they still had a chance to win.
That field goal was nuts. Pause.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Ohio State? Who are we talking about?
The Texans.
No, we're talking about the game.
Texans,
you know, basically,
Jags.
the reason I brought it up because Stroud went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of went with, when Burrow, in case I don't know if you was here or not, or when we talked about it. Basically, so you're caught up to speed, is that when Mase was trying to get on me about Joe Burrow, I said, well, I'm going with CJ Stroud because he was from Ohio State. So I kind of been leaning on the Texans since Joe Burrow was out. And now this. So I'm just bringing you up to speed. That's the reason that I've been going with the Texans. This week I went with them. But Stat and Mase being there both from Jacksonville, we tried
to warn them.
They tried to warn me. Now, mind you, they were both born in Jacksonville. Mase moved to Harlem when he was 6 days old. Stat moved to Tampa when she was 3 hours old. And they still want to be talking about Jacksonville. So I let them go with it. It's fine with me. It's all good.
We tried to warn them, That's why I was quiet the whole time. I couldn't wait for him to get to this subject.
Yeah, listen, man. I was wrong all weekend just trying to be a homer. What I will say is this, man, is that I think Trevor Lawrence is coming into his own. He had a spectacular game. I was a big fan of his at Clemson when he was there. I thought he was great when he was there as well. And finally seeing the Jaguars getting it together because it's been a little while.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to see. It's kind of dope to see. I'm not like gonna act like I'm a big Jacksonville fan, but I think that's a city that needs to be in the playoffs. You know, it's not like it's a basketball team out there, anything else. I think they rally around the team. But all jokes aside, with Ohio State and everything else, it's gonna be fun to see what they do in the playoffs, man. But I think that Trevor Lawrence is finally coming into his own. He had a great game, 364 yards, and he looked good. He's been looking good all season. And what happens is Jacksonville has kind of been going under the radar because how terribly they've been playing over the years. But then when you sit up there and you're like, hold the fuck up. They lead the division. They're 8-3. Wait a minute, it's only 6 games left. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes for Jacksonville, but don't sleep on them. They looking really good this season.
But it also shows a lot about CJ Stroud, because for him to even be able to keep up with Trevor Lawrence at this caliber for just being drafted says a lot about him as well. I mean, they only lost by a field goal that they missed. But yeah, shout out to CJ Stroud. Shout out to Jacksonville. Still a Steelers fan. Got to make that.
Shout out to Mase. You just regurgitated everything I said on the weekend.
Yeah, and what we gonna do? And what we gonna do is we gonna stop shouting losers out every minute, talking about it's a moral victory, and for him to keep up, and not just you, Stat, all of us. But
shout out to Eastside Michigan,
man. We all do that shit, yo. But what I was saying was Mase did that the other weekend to me, got me started to do the shit. Y'all lost. I thought we only fuck with the winners up here. That's what I thought. And we all guilty of it.
Shout out to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm always sitting there saying.
Jacksonville, the winner.
Welcome to Tyler Town.
Not somebody went to college in Ohio.
Yeah.
There we go. Look, I got nothing to say, man. I got nothing to say. Look. I really would love, we got to get our technology up, because I would really love one day to have you and Maurice Clarett up here at the same time. But at the end of the day, I'm listening to this nigga because he my man. He doing all this research. He got me pulling the Freddie mask out, all type of shit, man. We got to deal with this later in the week with Mase, man.
Mo switched up. I just wanted to tell you that. I saw Mo buying a Michigan hat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think my man gonna go that far.
Maurice is UCLA, but did Maurice go to UCLA? Right?
No, he went to Ohio State.
That's why I'm saying this.
Correct. Oh, that. Okay, I'm thinking about the little guy that played. All right, I'm thinking about.
No, he's on our show during the week. Yeah. Maurice Clarett, Ohio State national champion, got into a little trouble, resurrected his life. Now he's doing great things, and he's on the show with us. But he's Ohio State.
One of his problems, he was listening to that dude. Well, where is he at? That dude.
Who is that?
That's Jim Brown.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons. That's me giving Jim a birthday cake.
Yeah.
They're going to get Jim a birthday cake.
And then one last question before we go to break. The Panthers have only won one game this season, and as a result, their head coach, Frank Reich, was fired. Do you think they made the right decision? OJ first.
Yeah, that was going nowhere. I don't even think Frank liked being there. I saw Frank, though, and I know I'm a little off the subject here, but I saw Frank lead one of the greatest comebacks in the history of football in a playoff game. I guess it was against Houston in Buffalo. They were down going into halftime, like 31-6. They came out in the second half. The Bills didn't score with the ball. They scored. It was 34-6. Frank was a quarterback. Everybody thinks Jim Kelly was a quarterback. Frank led the Bills back on one of the all-time greatest comebacks in a playoff game. And they won that game. All right, enough of that. Frank didn't appear as if he enjoyed being there. Yes, and he was doing nothing for Young. And I don't know if it's the owner's fault, the GM's fault, or his fault, but I feel so bad for Young because that boy's got skills, but he's got nothing. He's got no help, and he's not going to get any help next year because they traded away all their draft choices to Chicago. So Caleb Williams will be going to Chicago. Not that they would have drafted a quarterback if they had the number one pick. They probably would have gotten Harrison or some offensive lineman. But it was time for him to go. I mean, they're 1-7 or 1-9 or whatever it is. You have to make some changes. The problem is this owner, it seems that's all he does. Seems like every year he's making changes.
Yeah, but
Just
if you didn't know this guy and I just told you to close your eyes, it's 1-10. Does he keep the job? No.
No, I believe he had to go.
Yeah.
I kind of believe he wanted to go.
Yeah,
He's gonna get paid. They fired him, so he's gonna get millions of dollars. You know, he can go home and relax.
Real quick, Mase, let me ask Otis. Is he gonna get more than the running backs?
You know, there's a couple of words I had to use this. I'm not gonna use it.
Does he make more than the running backs? Oh,
no, you know he makes way more than running.
My bad, Mase. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That was good. They're 29th in scoring, 29th in rushing offense, 30th in total offense, 30th in scoring defense, and 30th in passing offense. There's no way he should get higher.
Yeah,
but what do you think? You gotta go.
He's got to go. I mean, he might be a decent offensive coordinator. You didn't show it there, obviously. But that team sucks. That team's got nothing. Horrible offensive line. Okay defense, but not a great defense. But their offense, you know, who's their wide receivers? They got rid of us. Moore. They let him go to Chicago. You know, they let Christian McCaffrey go to the 49ers. You know, once they made those moves, you knew they weren't going.
What I'll say is before we go to break, I don't really know this nigga. I ain't really been keeping up with him. I definitely ain't been keeping up with the Carolina Panthers. The most I know about the Carolina Panthers, there's a protest at the end of the year. This will not stop the protest. It's firing this nigga. The protest will still go on. And lastly, what I'll say is another thing. I don't care what's going on when we shoot with you, OJ, and who we're talking about. You'll find a way for somebody to be related to the Buffalo Bills one way or another. I don't know how you do it. Every topic, somebody has some type of relationship with the Buffalo Bills. That's all I heard you say. Well, you know he's with the Bills, right? I don't know how you do it, man.
At the greatest comeback in playoff history.
That's what's up, man.
We're going to go to break, and when we return, we will talk about the Broncos versus the Browns.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I in this woman way free?
Welcome back. So let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. This afternoon, the Rockets will play the Mavs. Underdog Fantasy has Fred VanVleet at 17.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher. He's going to have to get more points. Kyrie, he better get more.
I'm going to go lower.
Okay. Jalen Green is at 2 3-pointers made. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Lower.
Higher.
Okay. And Luka is at 29.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Higher.
Higher.
Make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. We are joined back with our football analyst, OJ. So let's get into the Broncos versus the Browns. The Broncos beat the Browns 29-12 with Deshaun Watson out. Can you see the Browns winning any more games? OJ first.
Yeah, I think they're playing terrific football. Their defense is playing well. Russ is not making any mistakes. And the reason they brought Sean Payton there is because Sean Payton is one of the great coaches. People forget that last year when Russ went there, everybody thought that team had everything they needed except the quarterback. Well, it's kind of turning out this year that was right. They got just about everything they need in other positions. They just didn't have a coach because we know that coach, um, Aaron Rodgers, is the best friend. We know he can't coach. At least it doesn't appear that he can coach. But he came in. It took him, after what happened last year, he took a team that everybody thought would be a winning team last year. He took those players. He somehow straightened Russ up, putting him in an offense that he can't make a lot of mistakes in, and they're winning. They're winning. They're playing really good football, and they've beaten some good teams, including my Bills.
Yeah, your Bills is included.
How much do you count this win, though, OJ, when they're winning against a Deshaun Watless Browns? They don't have a quarterback.
Winning is winning. It's no matter who you play. I mean, look, you'll see some of the best teams. Look, I think it was Dallas lost to Arizona, didn't it? I mean, you will see that all the time. You'll see a bad team often will give a really good team, even a great team, a tough game. So those things happen. Cleveland, many people think, has the best defense in football. I know they're tough. That defense is tough. But the bottom line is, as we said with Philadelphia, no matter how they play, no matter what happens, if guys are dropping passes, or guys turning the wrong way on passes, they win. That's the only thing that really matters.
So how great do you consider this game for Russell Wilson when he's 13 for 22 against such great defense?
I'm not saying it's a great game for him. I'm saying he didn't make any major mistakes. What he was doing last year, giving the ball up to the other team. So the key is he wasn't hurting his team. That's what he was doing last year. And most of the time, that's what you want from a quarterback. Don't hurt us.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with throwing the ball away and having another down. There's nothing wrong with punting and getting good field positions. The worst thing is turning the ball over to them with an interception or a quarterback or fumble, and that's something he is not doing this year.
So this was great management in your eyes?
Well, they won. So I can't call it great. All I can say is they won. I attribute most of that to the coach, Sean Payton, and how he has that team playing. They're winning football. They have a winning record. Hey, you got to give them credit.
Yeah, I have to agree with OJ on this. Look, at the end of the day, whatever's going to get a win for the Broncos, seeing before the season started how he was making fun of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, saying how he wanted them to start kissing babies and get more thug life in them, and be tougher, and he's a nice guy. I think Sean Payton figured out a way to work with Russell Wilson, and if it's him being a game manager, then fuck it. He's been a game manager the last couple weeks to me. Like you said, Mase, only 134 yards. But if you're getting the win, that's what counts. It got them over 500. And to be honest, in the wild card hunt, everybody's 1 or 2 games in or out, them included. So you got a bunch of teams that's 6-5, a bunch of teams that's 7-4, with 6 games left in the season. It could go either way. So
Yeah.
look how it would look if the Broncos slip into the playoffs and win the first round in the playoffs. We'll all be like, oh shit, get the fuck out of here. Who would have thought?
Yeah, this was a complete turnaround from how they started.
Right. So they sneak into the playoffs, like you said, get a wild card, they win their first game, and then everybody talking about, well, Sean Payton, he's one of those coaches, and we can't count Russell Wilson out. He's a Super Bowl champion, and these are the things
through to him and all that.
Yeah. And this is the things it takes. This is why it's 17 weeks in the football season, because we knew these two would weather the storm. That's how niggas gonna start talking. So whatever it takes, like I said, to agree with you, Juice, a win's a win, however it goes. And they're a game or 2 or maybe 3 out of a playoff spot. And if once you get into the playoffs, it's, the movie is any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Monday,
Anything.
or Thursday, or Friday now once in a while.
The Ravens beat the Chargers 20-10. They are currently 9-3. Did you expect them to have this record, OJ?
Yes. I thought the Ravens was one of the
Oh
three.
my God, man. Oh my God, bro.
They got
Oh
defense.
man. Come on,
They
man.
got Lamar.
Please.
They were-
No, stop.
man.
Oh, you did not expect
Everybody
them.
knew that
No,
division was
man.
going to come
85
down.
Bears,
Cincinnati and them.
85
Everybody
Bears.
knew that was going to come down to Cincinnati and Baltimore. And Baltimore has been fortunate. They haven't had any injuries. And you're going to ask me if I didn't think they would beat these guys? Of course I thought they
Anyways.
Come down to Cincinnati and...
First of all, do you realize the next coach that will probably get fired will probably be the San Diego coach? With
I
all
can
the
see that.
talent that they got. With all the talent they got. Who have they beaten that was worth a darn? Nobody. So I don't think anybody will... I don't know. What was the lineup? Wasn't it? A line 9 points or something crazy.
They're in LA. They're not in San Diego anymore. No, you did not call this a big against. But go ahead. Finish up. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, I don't get me wrong. I think there's some teams out there that's going to give Baltimore a hell of a game, but it wasn't going to be the Chargers. I didn't see the Chargers doing. I think the Chargers are the number one underperforming team in football. When you look at that, those players, those Pro Bowl players, those guys that they have, and a quarterback that is, the guy could throw the ball. Very few guys in the league could throw the ball as well as he does. And when you have that kind of talent and you have the results that they're constantly getting, I think that coach is the next one to go.
What I'll say is this: I actually watched this whole game, and what I would love to know is what was the time of possession between the Chargers and the Ravens. And I didn't do the due diligence to study it or find out after the game was over, but it seemed like the Chargers had the ball the whole game, at least like the third quarter going into like the fourth quarter. They had it like 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes in a row, and it's not turning into any points to where it's forced fumbles, fumble recovery. They had the ball a lot, and Baltimore was just making better plays. Baltimore was exceptionally well on defense. The OC for what's the dude's name? The OC for San Diego, got me saying San Diego, for the LA Chargers, he got to go, bro. You got to go. Whether it's the coach or the OC, at this point, I'm not even mad at the OC because him leaving. Because I was looking at the plays they're doing, and he comes from a college background from what I was learning when I started doing some research on him last night. And he's doing a lot of, he did a few trick plays, throw the ball backwards. Shit looked cute. But it looked like they would not throw the ball into the secondary. I watched the whole second half, a little bit of the first half. I did not see a pass for over 15 yards. I could be wrong, but I just did not see them throw the ball to the secondary. Now, I'm not saying that Baltimore Ravens defense isn't good, but you got to take a chance. Yeah. It's like one of them niggas who trying to kill you by death by 1,000 little 1,000 slits.
Yeah.
Like, they're throwing 2 yards and trying to hope they run for 7 or 8 yards. I'm like, are y'all going to throw it to the secondary ever in this game? And it just wasn't working. And I blame that on the offensive coordinator. I haven't seen all the Chargers games this year, but the plays he was calling, I was disgusted, and I felt really bad for Justin Herbert. The reason I felt bad is because he's such a spectacular player. And when I was looking at him, I was saying to myself, you're too nice of a guy, because even when things wasn't going right, and that's what you're supposed to do, leadership qualities according to stat. Gallop the troops, bring them around, say, I know, rally everybody up. Look, I know things ain't going good. Let's go. Come on, y'all. It don't matter. We getting sacked. We're not getting any yardage. We found they're doing good on third downs. They had some good third down completions. Rallying the troops up, get all the way down the field and don't get any points I would be the look on my face would be disgusted, but Justin Herbert just seemed like he was cool with it. Yo, my nigga, you got to start showing that you got an attitude about this. So management will pick up on it, and ownership will pick up on it because you're a great quarterback, but your talents are not going to be seen in the postseason with your crew, as far as the OC and the head coach. OJ may be right about the head coach, but I was really focused on, I believe his name is Kellen Moore, if I'm not mistaken. And I was sitting there saying...
Dallas. From Dallas.
Oh, he's from Dallas, okay.
He was in Dallas last year.
Okay, but where was he from before Dallas? It was some...
Yeah, I know he played at Boise, I think.
Yeah, it was some college shit that I was looking at.
Well, in Boise, they did all those trick plays, if you remember.
Yeah, he coming from that blue football field and shit out there, man. That nigga seeing blue. So at the end of the day, man, Justin Herbert, you're going to have to get an attitude because they're not going to let you go anywhere. But if you want to put up with this, you got to put your foot down and talk to management. And if not management, ownership, because they need you. So,
Cam, the reason why he didn't get drafted ahead of Tua and 2 or 3 other guys was that they thought he was too lackadaisical. They thought he didn't care.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Football. That was the book on him coming out of college. He went in the first round, but after a couple of other quarterbacks.
So he's proven exactly what they said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was right. What Cam was just saying was right.
What I would say, I'm sorry.
He was saying 2 of them got picked above him because the scouting report was that he really doesn't care.
Right.
Too
lackadaisical. Okay, got you. Yeah, and we're looking, and we just got informed, my guy, about the longest pass they threw yesterday was 17 yards for the whole game. So
with an arm like his.
Yeah, his arm. Yeah, he got a great arm. I mean, I put him as far as arms are concerned. And listen, I'm not saying that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow in any way, shape, or form. I think he has the best arm out of those players. As far as strength is concerned, I think Hubert is right underneath that as far as arm strength is concerned. And to be thrown for 17 yards with an arm like that, pause, is out of fucking control. I knew I wasn't bugging. Thank you for that information, because when I'm watching the game, I'm like, why won't they throw it to the secondary? And I'm sitting there watching for 60 minutes and I didn't see it.
Last question before we end. Okay, so in response to Tom Brady's mediocrity comments, former 49ers quarterback Alex Smith said, Tom Brady played in the most uncompetitive division in NFL history. I mean, you come out of training camp in the biggest cupcake division. You got a ticket to the playoffs right away. Like, talk about mediocre. Do you agree?
Former quarterback Alex Smith?
Mm-hmm.
You need to wash his mouth.
Yeah, I agree with me. Nigga might smack. Nigga might just buy a pair of white gloves to smack you with, nigga. You out of fucking control, nigga. Yo,
look, Cam, he's right about one thing. The division, the league he was in.
You played in that division too.
They weren't any good.
Yeah, well, you played in that division. You was in that division. We ain't gonna let you do that to Tom.
When the Dolphins went undefeated, I think they played against 2 teams with a winning record. No team in that division had a winning record then. But I like more. I ain't going with Alex Smith, but I am going with Randy Moss and what Randy Moss said. Randy Moss said today, Brady, you're the reason for all of this stuff, all these quarterback rules and can't hit him here and can't hit him there. Every time you got hit, you looked up at the referee and wanted a flag. So Randy Moss said, you're the last person to be saying this. And that was Randy Moss, who I know is friends with him because they had that great year together. Undefeated until the Super Bowl, 50 touchdown passes. But Brady most of these quarterback rules was made because of Brady.
They should have spoke up for Brady, though. That's what I was thinking.
Well, as I said, I ain't going along with Smith. So I'm mad at him and the Niners for them drafting him ahead of Rodgers when they came out of college, and Rodgers playing right across the bay at Cal Berkeley. everybody knew they should have drafted Rodgers, but they drafted Alex Smith. But I paid attention today when Randy Moss said what he said.
Do you agree? Do you agree that we're in the golden era of linemen?
Golden era of linemen of your offense, defense,
defense,
what do we
defense.
Think? I don't even know how to answer that question. You got some great athletes on defense now. Great pass rushers. They could be as small as Von Miller, if they got the speed to get around. You got Donald. I mean, who's ever been better than him? Maybe
this is what he was saying.
Maybe Randy White. I don't know. I think the game is a different game. Athletes are different. It's hard for me to say that. I think in most sports, athletes are better trained and bigger and faster in general than they were in the old days. I played in the old days, and that's for every position, Cam, just in case you want to say something, other than running back, because I'd still be one of the bigger running backs and faster than all of them.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. He said there are a lot of future Hall of Famers on the defensive lineman right now that are playing currently right now.
You had some great athletes playing defense, right? Really terrific athletes and some huge guys who got speed and I mean, just look at C.J. Watt and look at Bosa and Watt and Von Miller and the boy at Cleveland. TJ, the boy at Cleveland. Jesus. I mean, he's probably the best athlete I've ever saw playing defensive end. I mean, he is big, he is fast, he is athletic. I don't know, I don't know if they had kept sack records back in Deacon Jones's day, they'd still be trying to catch Deacon Jones's record for sacks. But they weren't taking them right there. But he was a great athlete.
Yo.
Yeah.
Alex Smith was the question. I don't know how the fuck we got the golden lineman of the fucking golden era lineman. I don't know how Randy Moss got involved in this shit. I don't know how Randy Moss did 50 touchdowns with the Giants. I mean, with the lost to the Giants. I don't know how we got to the 1972.
And Michael Parsons.
You got the 1972 undefeated Dolphins. Oh, when they wanted to do it. I wasn't born, I wasn't born when that team was out. Alex Smith was the question. Alex Smith, you got a lot of fucking nerve. First of all, you got Alex Smith. I know why you mad. You was a really good quarterback. I think your record was, and off the top of my head, I didn't even do no homework on this. You was like 19 or 18 and 1 or 20 and 1, got hurt, missed 5-6 games. Colin Kaepernick came in and took your spot on 5-6 games. I felt bad for you back then because I was like, damn, in the NFL quarterback position is tough. Yeah. You can't even get hurt for 2-3 weeks because if they've gained momentum, then you're out. So you lost your job to Colin Kaepernick. Where do you go next? You go to Kansas City. Looks great. I think you had another record of some shit, 12-3, 12-2. It was spectacular. Who's waiting in the cut? Patrick Mahomes, man. Sorry, Alex Smith. Get up out of here. Then you go to the Redskins, I believe, and fuck your leg. Look, it's been fucked up for you, bro. And you got a really good record. Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth about Tom Brady because your shit ain't go right and you have potential to almost get there. You're probably one of the best game managers ever. Probably top 2 as far as if we're talking about quarterbacks who game management. You're one of the best.
Who's up there with him?
I don't know, because I don't be watching game managers. I ain't really with all that game management shit. Only reason I know is because I was watching the 49ers that year. They did really well. Yeah. Then I was watching the Chiefs, and they're doing well. And I'm like, damn, this thing caught a bad break. Two niggas kind of like Drew Bledsoe. Same shit. Drew Bledsoe was sitting there doing decent with the Patriots. He gets hurt. Who comes along? Tom Brady. Then where does he go? He goes to Dallas, plays for the Cowboys. Gets hurt. Who comes take his spot? Tony Romo. Drew Bledsoe, Alex, write a book together. Should be dope. Yeah. The niggas who took our spots.
Some of them niggas that could have been records.
Yeah, could have. I like that. Could have been.
Drewski.
Yeah. That's a fact. Drewski, Johnny Shikes, get them on Drewski's label. Could have been records.
Yeah.
Yeah. But always
Well,
both
my
number one
point-
picks.
Yeah.
My point to you was, I don't pay any attention to Alex Smith. Any criticism he would have of anybody. Randy
my bad.
Moss, I would pay attention to.
No, you're
That
right.
was the only
No,
one I
don't
would
get it fucked up. I'm listening to Randy Moss, especially him playing with Tom Brady. You know, I was fucking around. That was one of the best seasons. They was almost on the way to beating or tying. I'm not sure, but
They were
the 72,
undefeated.
yeah, the 72 Dolphins. You always talking them. We as a society always talk about because they're the only undefeated team ever. They're right there, and good old Giants, man, put them out of business.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. OJ, thank you for being
Thanks,
here.
Uncle. Oh, we love you, man. Appreciate you
Jet
again.
lag.
Love y'all.
Jet lag. Oh, make sure you drink that blueberry juice all week, man. Stay
I'm
strong,
telling
baby.
you, blueberry juice is the best juice you can drink almost.
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
And thank
All
you.
right, guys.
Bye. And thank you all for watching. As always, it is what it is.
Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for